What's going on? How y'all doing today? Y'all gotta like low key forgive me because it's pretty hot. So that's why I got my tank top on. Yeah, it's pretty hot, but something that I had really wanted to say was that I feel like I'm starting to understand. Like I remember hearing someone say just learning to, or how people would say I think it goes some along the lines of like, I don't be in a mix. Like I done heard somebody say it. Like, when people be saying different stuff. And as of recent, like I have been just feeling like I gotta constantly, keep doing stuff. And like you get so much in the habit of feeling like, you feel me, you gotta do. I remember even when I was younger, it was times I had got sick. It was times where I feel like I missed out a lot of times to do stuff, with my cousins and them, if they was doing something, if they went somewhere, or, like it made me feel like I was, being left out. And I don't know, I don't really want to say like, I don't know, like I don't know how to say like this. God gave me this revelation or understanding, but I don't know, like say just not being in the mix, even like I said, being on the internet, because I done been through different stages in my life. I didn't grown up, where it's like, we went through a time of struggle where we didn't really have that much food, and had these served sandwiches and stuff like that. And but we still had antenna cable, so still watch cartoons like on ABC TV early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all do know what I'm talking about. So I'm 28 right now. So anyone that was born in the 90s or late 90s, maybe early 2000s, y'all might understand like what I'm talking about. But yeah, like it wasn't like everything was grandioso. Like everything wasn't like everything. It wasn't like everything was how I would have wanted it to be. Cause like I said, the times when I would miss out, and maybe my cousin and them, they going somewhere, they going to Six Flags, or all those times that I feel like maybe I was left out or whatever. I still was able to enjoy the little bitty moments, and just I don't know, like I feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm learning how people typically would say, learning to, not be in a mix. And I feel like when people say not to be in a mix, that could be in a degree of just like everything that's just going on in the world, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, everybody is moving at a certain pace and time, and in their life right now, whereas you know we, like I said, we not all moving on the same time. So God knows where we at. And sometimes I even be thinking like I'll be in a situation of setback or delay. But I don't know, I just feel like a peace today, just knowing that I didn't really have to have, like I didn't have to, have like the latest gear, the latest, how people would say keeping up with the Joneses. You see people get the freshest mics, like, or the nice clothes, and sometimes, like I said, you could rock the same new clothes. I mean, you could rock, the same old clothing that you didn't have. Or chances may be like, maybe your clothes may be dirty, and, You know, maybe your washing machine might be messed up and whatever, and you know, maybe you gotta wear a shirt that you didn't wore before. That's like 3 days or 3 days old or whatever that you didn't wear before. But it's like it grants you a sense of peace. You feel me? Because you don't feel like you gotta have it all down packed all the time. I feel like you know with humans, especially how society and stuff like that, you be so conditioned just to live one way that if you can no longer keep that up, then there's something wrong with you. But I know that God said there's not no condemnation for those that are in Christ Jesus. So it's like he don't, you know, he don't condemn us for not being able to keep up stuff. The only thing that he gonna do is just make sure that he encourage us to, you feel me, keep going. And, like the other day, you know what I'm saying? Like really today, I ain't even really feel like cleaning up, and I just, today I ended up cleaning up. But the past couple of days when stuff was just all over the place, and I remember I said this before a while back then, where it was like I didn't I didn't always have the energy to clean up my, the room. Like when I was staying back with my parents and stuff like that, my room was kind of like, my room was sometimes dirty, you feel me? Because, like, maybe I was either too depressed or just going through a lot of warfare, you know, in my own life, where it was just having me so much more so focused on that I couldn't find the time and the energy and the motivation, you feel me, to want to clean up, you know what I'm saying? It, to me, even though I knew, like, obviously, it's important to clean up because you don't want rats and roaches in your house and stuff like that, yeah, and you don't want to get sick from bacteria, yeah. But, like, I feel like, just as human beings, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, especially when you didn't reached adulthood and now you living on your own and you feel like you gotta have everything down packed. And I'm grateful that God isn't like that towards us, because if not, it will be. I could see, I guess, like I said, I could see why people, in this world act the way that they do, because, God, like I told God, not too long ago when I prayed to him, I said, no matter how old I may get in this life, I would still want to be like a baby to him, because at the end of the day, he's the only one that can, help us in this life and lead us and guide us. No matter however much we may want to take the glory, I'm like, we just human beings, man. And then I keep getting put back in that place, like, where we just like, we fragile, we can break. It's okay not for everything to be, going, how it's supposed to all the time. And it's helped me to be more merciful, more understanding, more compassionate towards other individuals, because, people get sick, you know what I'm saying? All type of stuff happen, you know what I'm saying? People end up going homeless, like anything can, happen. So it help you to be really, just compassionate towards one another, you know what I'm saying? And I, like, over these past couple of days, man, that's what I've been getting, like, cause the place I'm staying in now, I hadn't washed the dishes or nothing, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'll be trying to get people to understand too, is that y'all gotta understand, like, how, like, they have tried to program us from the inside out. Right, I'm talking about right when you get up, it's like an automatic feeling, oh, I gotta do this, oh, I gotta do this, and we're not robots. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you're gonna turn off. At some point, mentally, you can check out. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel more peace, you know, like normally for the longest time, I always felt like I had to get in order to be content, but I feel like I'm reaching a point of contentment where it's like I don't have to always get, and rather it be food, it's always gonna be more food, and you'll never be content. 'Cause like I said, it's always more to buy, it's always more to eat, and you know, eventually you'll get bored with that. And if it's clothes, it'll always be clothes. You know what I'm saying? You'll never be able to, you'll never get to that point where you get satisfied with how many clothes and shoes that you have. So needed that as well. Um, like I said, we all learn different things at different times, but it's just really been sitting with me for the past couple of days. Especially today, what I'm saying, with all this different stuff, like the warfare, just, you know, in my own life been kind of like going up a little bit. Like it ain't too bad, but still been going through my own stuff. And I don't know, man, like I'm always grateful to learn anything, but if I can take away from today, it would just be like, cause today is July the 3rd, you know what I'm saying? And I'm over here stressing about, doing something for the 4th of July because I forgot like most of these days are pagan holidays, and it just like, you know, it goes back to me feeling like, me being left out. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all done felt that way, was like, whether it was a holiday or something like that, especially if you aren't already doing stuff in your life and you haven't came to that understanding, you haven't came to that place where you can know to do certain stuff. Like I don't know, man. I've been developing I feel like God's been developing a lot of more understanding and compassion I have toward human beings, you know what I'm saying? Especially out here in Texas. Like I remember telling God, like, man, I don't know why a majority of these people stay in the house majority of the time. And I know a sister Christ, when I talked to her, she told me, like, like a lot of them, you feel me, like it could be fear, it could be trauma, like, you know what I'm saying, you really don't know. And she right, because like I said, I've been, staying in the house, I've been staying in the house, and fear has tried to come in and tried to keep me in, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, especially when everybody going through their own things, and whether you going through isolation and you depressed or you anxious and you feel like you're not getting the help that you need, and, you're experiencing rejection and all these things, you know, and I don't know, like maybe the people that you stay around, they don't, you know, like the area that you in, like it doesn't present you like a point of hope, you know what I'm saying? So you start to just be like, man, it's pointless in me going outside. I'm finna just stay in the house, you know. Like I'm really starting to understand, like, people on a greater level. I mean, all glory be to God for sure. But yeah, and then that's why I say too, like out here in Houston, you know what I'm saying? Especially like I say, since I'm from Chicago, like, man, that heat, man, this heat is like unbearable, man. And that's another reason too, like I never really thought like weather can dictate like someone's like actions. Like, cause for me, I always been, in a position where, in Chicago, I didn't walk through snow before, you know what I'm saying? But out here in Houston, it's pretty much always hot. Now, if it ain't hot, then it's raining. And if it ain't raining, then they talking about a flood warning and all this other different type of stuff. Now, I didn't walk through rain, but not when it didn't got to that point. So it's like I'm starting to learn how to have a little bit more mercy toward, people that, that live out here and just in general. Because like I said, I didn't know, that weather itself can impact what people do on this planet, only because, what I mean, in this world, because I had to still keep going regardless of people helping me or not. And that could be like me having some bitterness in my heart for all the times I didn't receive the help that I wanted. But I mean, like I said, you still like I still do feel like some people do kind of go overboard with it. Like I haven't really been out the house like that. You know what I'm saying? I remember me posting a video on this channel just saying that, you got to go out the house, but I also, like, I'm not trying to contradict myself for anyone that may be watching this. Like, that doesn't mean I'm saying, like, it's not effective for you to go outside. That's not what I'm saying at all. You know, that's still effective to this day. Yes, I will keep saying. And I definitely need to take that advice. But I'm also want to dive into this part of just me saying that I do understand why if people don't want to go outside, though. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time, like, people be thinking they're going to get shot when they go outside, all because they don't, already, they don't trust nobody. You know what I'm saying? So they got a shield up. And so they use their home as a form of protection. But yeah, man, like, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. If anything, it just made me want to just, because sometimes, like, I still do get mad, only because I feel like, like, most of the stuff that God has shown me over time, like, to me, I'm like, I mean, humans can do a lot more stuff, you know what I'm saying, than they think. But it literally says, in God's word says, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. So it's like, when he's showing me all this different stuff, how we come together and pray, and it just never works out that way, because people dealing with stuff that they dealing with, you know what I'm saying, whether they dealing with anxiety, or they need to be delivered from these demons that are tormenting their mind and getting them to think that this is this and which it isn't, you know what I'm saying. And just a lot of people that need healing, you know what I'm saying. So I'm just, like I said, I'm learning to be more merciful and, compassionate. And I'm also just learning that, we ain't got to always have everything. Our money ain't got to be maxed out. Like, that's another thing I feel like the world has shied away from. Like I was saying earlier, when I was really little, I think it was like the first house that I lived in, my mom and my stepdad and my brothers and sisters. Since like I said, we didn't really have none. What we did have, we had outside. You know what I'm saying? We were still able to go outside. And that helped a lot, being a kid at that time. If I didn't have a game, we was playing football, tag, freeze tag, playing it. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that I feel like a lot of people, we didn't shy away from. 'Cause like I said, we got technology now. If we want to watch basketball, if we want to, get our needs met. And so now we don't need human interaction. But yeah, man, I'm trying to remember like what I was trying to say, because I be getting kind of sidetracked when I'm talking. I'll be trying to stick on like exactly what I'm saying, so I don't throw y'all off. So please forgive me. But nah, yeah, that's what I was saying. Okay, thank you, Jesus. So around that time, when I didn't really have much and stuff like that, and had to grow up watching WTTW and stuff like that, and eating syrup sandwiches, and for a lot of people that don't know that part of my life, it might, I might wasn't like blessed to like have a lot at that time, but it helped me to still know that regardless if you got money or not, you can still make your life worth living. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that I feel like we shied away from that. Like, even myself, you know what I'm saying? Because I developed an addiction to, you know, gaming. And it's like, you know, I spent majority of my time playing video games and, you know, idolizing games and stuff to the degree where it's like I'm always in front of a TV, you know. So, but I mean, yeah, you don't have to always have money. You don't always have to have everything content, whether your refrigerator is full. Cause I'm telling you, like, just right now, me just learning this today, like, it don't matter. Because when your refrigerator is full, you still want to do something. You still not satisfied. You still not fulfilled. You know, it don't matter. You know, your refrigerator is full. Your pockets is full. It don't even matter. What I'm getting is that when we don't always have things that are constantly just like going our way all the time, it kind of it's actually a relief, because then you start to develop this way of thinking like, now I have to keep this going like every day. And it's like when you can't keep it going every day, then it stress you out. When you don't have certain stuff no more, then it stress you out, because you then develop that mentality that you got to keep it going. And like I said, we're not robots, so at any point in time, like I said, you can check out. Like mentally, your mental can slip from you if you don't know how to, you know, if you don't never develop an understanding to jump out of that. But and that also goes along with too, like, just not knowing exactly what to say, what to pray, what to do. Because like I say, for a long time, when I started to get a little bit older, you know, I know my mom and them, they couldn't really be there for me like how they would like to have been. And, you know, I started learning to become like independent, like really, you know, really young. Like, I think it was like towards like maybe, I don't know. I can say that it was really young. I can't really pinpoint the exact age, but I feel like it was young because I know when something that happened to me when I was younger, you know, can't really say everything, but it was kind of traumatic. And the reason why I say independent, because I was the only one that can feel that something was off with me, and nobody else was able to tell. Nobody else was able to help me out of that situation. And yeah, I mean, so whether you lose yourself, and it's bringing me more comfort, because I know in the Bible, in the book of Psalms, it says something like it says, none can keep alive his own soul. None can keep alive his own soul. So, and I really needed to hear that now. Like, sometimes I'd be forgetting scripture and stuff like that, but none can keep alive his own soul. And that's not even really the full verse. Let me say the full verse so that nobody just feel like I'm just paraphrasing. This is what it say though. It says, all they that be fed upon earth shall eat and worship. All they that go down to the dust shall bow before him, and none can keep alive his own soul. That's in Psalms 22:29. And when the first time I read that, it brought me a sense of relief, because even when you didn't reach the point when you didn't move out of your parents' house, and you feel like it's all on you to keep your life going and stuff like that, whatever's gonna happen is whatever's gonna happen. Like a lot, like that's when I feel like we also start to develop or allow these demons of anxiety, demons of depression to start coming in, because one, we taking on too many burdens. Two, we not trusting in God, and then that's when automatically these demons start coming in. You know what I'm saying? It's just best, like I said, I'm learning how to find peace and contentment, and not having everything, not keeping up with the Joneses, materialistic stuff. Like I said, even if my hair isn't cut at a specific time, because like I say, what it do is it put too much pressure on you. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. If you lose yourself, trust that God will, help bring you back to yourself. Like he'll bring you back if you, like when it says the 99. I'm trying my best not to paraphrase no verses today, because I know people like to hurry up and point that out. But it says, "What man among you has 100 sheep, and if one of them be lost, would not he leave the 99 in the wilderness and go seek the one which is lost until he find it?" So that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't reach a lot of points where I didn't feel like I was lost, but I remember, like, majority of the time whenever I felt like I was lost, it was somebody that prayed over me, just, I guess, I can't even really remember what it was, but it was like, just like I had a spirit of like control and some type of, and where it's just, I wanted to be so in control of everything, my outcome, and I mean, yeah. I think because like I was so scared that I was been in situations where, because I had developed the habit of trying to get myself out of situations, so going from me not really trusting nobody and just having this guard up and claiming to be like someone that's just like really self-reliant, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna also share this with y'all too, because I ain't got too much on this. I don't have too much time left on this phone. So yesterday, I was really vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? And I work in a public place where people gonna see me like a lot, and especially what I was doing this day. And it was hard, you feel me? Like, it was hard for me to be vulnerable, because I'm like, one, I don't be wanting nobody to see me crying in front of them. It's hard for people to see, me crying or hurting, like even being a man, like, because I think of what I experienced when I was younger. Like, I remember it was a guy telling me like not to be crying and stuff like that when I was walking on the side, of my mom down the street, like going towards McDonald's back in Chicago. And I also remember too, like, when my cousin had passed away, like at her funeral, I was crying like really hard, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't think it would break me, but it did. And like it's like you got the type of cry that make other people sad, and I don't like nobody feeling that way. Like it, like I don't. It's like the type of cry that makes someone feel bad, and it's like that's when I think refrain from trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, allow someone to see me in tears, you know what I'm saying? But I know that God has also revealed to me too, like, you know, just, you know, trying to deal with like people pleasing and stuff like that. But yeah, yesterday I was completely vulnerable, and I mean, you could like, as much as I really wanted to cover it up, it was so uncomfortable. Um, I feel like I was stressed out, and normally in situations, if I am ever stressed out, if I'm either in pain or anything, I learned from a very young age how to like try to take care of myself. So it's like whenever it's somebody else that, and I like just allowing them to be, you know, to help me in my vulnerability. That's never been the case, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I know I had, you know, recorded a video when we talking about the power of vulnerability, and it's like it definitely bring us close together as human beings. You know what I'm saying? It definitely bring you closer to God more than anything, for sure. But I was really stressed out, and it was just this day I couldn't do anything. I couldn't wipe the look off my face, and I feel like God, you know, he had been, you know, just trying to get me to obviously trust in Him, but trust in His ways as well, and trying to get me, I guess, to pull my guard down, cause I trust Him, and only more so what I can do, but not so much. I don't really trust a lot of people like that. And yeah, so I feel like slowly He been healing me from that whole way of thinking, you know what I'm saying, where I got my guard up, and I feel like, you know, because what it does is you overwork yourself, and you know, God, He got a greater way of stuff, and He got a greater plan for you, and He wants you to have faith in Him. And it does give you a sense of relief, but because of you dealing with abandonment, because of you dealing with rejection and all this different stuff, it eat away at your mental. It makes you start to feel like you know, like you're an orphan, like nobody wants you. And you know, You've been slowly trying to like get me from that, and you know, just learning how to take the little things, because I know a lot of times He did stuff, and then it's like I can quickly override it as if He didn't do nothing at all, or nothing good happened within a day. But you know, just me just learning, you know, how to take the little bitty things and be grateful for them, and to keep moving, because the next day it could be something that'll be good that'll come, and then the next day something, you know, says, I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. It's like I told, you know, a buddy of mine, you know, if God gave you everything all at one point, at one time, then it would destroy you. And that's something that I feel like, you know, if you are in a waiting season in this time, you know, keep praying to God for clarity. Like I said, you know, everybody got their own different stuff going on. You know, you can pray to Him after you done watch this video, but if you're in a waiting season with God and stuff like that, and you feel like, I don't know, like you getting discouraged, just take a little bit, the little bitty things that he has done, be grateful for Him, thank Him for that, and then just, you know, keep expecting that, you know, something to happen the next day, or if not the next day, then eventually. But I never been in a place of expectation. I always been in a place of like being hopeless, You know what I'm saying? Because I really couldn't understand his ways. So I feel like as of recent, he been trying to give me the understanding, like, like have some expectations, for the next day. Cause I like personally me, and that's the thing too, when you have nothing else to do within like the day, but if you don't really have nothing else to do during the day, then you will start to think, you will start trying to find that contentment, that satisfaction on just getting. I gotta get this, I gotta get this, I gotta get here, I have to get here. And so that robs you from being in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Because you so busy trying to get fulfilled off of that. But that's why I say he can't give us everything all at one time. It gotta be piece by piece, and you gotta be grateful for it. Like I said, if he gave it to you, it'll mess you up. I done literally been in a situation where it's like I literally felt like I had too much, or I was trying to have too much, and mentally I got hit up here pretty hard. And thank God I didn't lose my mind. But it's easy to forget that kind of stuff. So this is just me just making this video, just learning to be content, when everything isn't going right, in your life, because it's a lot of stuff that I still want from God. And I mean, yeah, like, you feel me, like, whether it may be, and I'm not trying to go into prosperity preaching or nothing like that, but whether it may be, a house or a car, what I'm saying, you trying to be, somebody said you trying to, somebody didn't prophesy to you or told you supposed to be a homeowner or something, like, you feel me, like, obviously it'll come, but I'm learning too, because I done heard people say, yeah, it'll come in the right time, but I couldn't get the fullness of what that actually mean. But I'm learning. It's just like a little baby when they take their little bitty steps. Eventually they gonna walk. You know what I'm saying? Eventually they will be able to walk. But it gotta be at the right time. You know what I'm saying? You can't just, or a better one is just like, I don't know, like, everything just grows at the right time. And I'll more than likely be watching this video over again. But like I say, for anyone that's just struggling with just being content, whether, like, I don't know how y'all finances looking, you feel me, I don't know how y'all finances looking. I don't know, if it's certain stuff that y'all really want from God and just can't get it, or look at certain things that he already doing, like, because he really had to force me in that direction. And it could be the littlest thing that you would be like, man, but that ain't nothing though, you feel me? Like, it could be something like somebody said hi to you, or have a blessed day, or they was really thoughtful to notice that you was in pain. Like, I don't know, I don't really know how to say it, but take every little thing and thank him for it. Like I said, it was a coworker of mine, because I had went off topic yesterday when I was stressed out. He seen that I was having a long day, and this never happened to me in life, because I never will allow no one to see me in a vulnerable state because of what I told y'all. But since this day had happened, I couldn't mask it. And so since I couldn't mask it, all because I never thought that somebody would truly care. Most of the time, if I ever was looking like I was in pain or stressed out, like, other people, it would make other people comfortable, and they like try to run away, and like they don't want to like help or nothing like that. And so I'm like, well, people don't want to deal with that, so let me put on the face that they, or let me act how they would want to act. But that's people pleasing. And like I said, I feel like God have been trying to get me out of that. But like I said, like I said, it's okay not to be okay. Like, I wasn't 100%, what I'm saying, yesterday. And, it was all right. It gave room for God to be able to move. And, God worked with. I didn't expect him to say nothing. But, he ended up coming out the blue. He was like, hey, how your day going? And I said, it's good. And he said, it looked like you stressed out. And which I was, like I said, I was pretty overwhelmed. You feel me? And I didn't think you was gonna say anything. You just like, I hope that you have a good rest of your day. And because I was so vulnerable, it meant the world to me. Because, like I said, it's the little things. Because, like, more so, me, all the stuff that I done been through, I always felt like, nobody cared as long as, unless I did something for them, whether I made them laugh or made them smile or made them happy, it was all right. But, if I was sick or if I was in pain, like I said, it really didn't matter. And, that developed me into just being, someone that's just put up a mask and just make sure I'm smiling, make sure I'm laughing, and, 'cause like that's what people like. But if you can get anything out of this video, it's just learn how to, be content, man, with the little things. Because like I said, once you didn't get to that point, you'll feel like you didn't reach the plateau in life. And I'm thankful that, I can be content and not feeling like I have to have everything. Be content in the fact that you may feel lost. Because like I said, it says, it talks about the parable of the lost sheep, which I read, in Luke 15:4, what man among you has 100 sheep, and if one of them should be lost, will he not leave the 99 in the wilderness and go seek the one which is lost until he find it? So, yeah, I can definitely say starting to experience God's love, and that's another thing too. If you ever been in a situation, or you constantly been in situations where you done lost yourself down the line and nobody really ever noticed that you either started to gain weight, and you let yourself go. It's the little things. Like I said, when he just was like, I hope that you have a good day, and the fact that he noticed, because a lot of people, they try to act like they don't see if a person is in pain or sick like that, mask it, because they really don't want to have to deal with that. And I done dealt with, people that, more so like tolerate me, but they don't want to have to deal with me. I done dealt with people making me feel like I'm a burden because I'm, trying to reach out. So, but, slowly but surely, God is healing me from that. And I just want y'all to take this, and you can pray to God about it, but just learn how to be content. You ain't got to have everything. You ain't got to be keeping up with the Joneses, and everything will come in its right timing, man. So, I love y'all. Y'all have a great day. Keep, taking it day by day, regardless. I think it's a me in here. So, yeah, I'm out.